Hello neighbor, this is Curt with eTrailer, and today we're going to take a look at the Benton LittleShift single bike carrier and see how it interacts with our 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xe. Now if after watching this video you decide that the LittleShift is the bike rack for you, you go ahead and get it and use it a few times, why don't you share what you think about it in the comments below? We'd love to share your experience with our other neighbors so they can make the best decision for themselves. Now if you're somebody maybe, in your household, you're really the only bike enthusiast, so you really only have need for a single bike carrier that can kind of do it all, the Benton LittleShift is an excellent choice for you. And what I mean by do it all is really its versatility. It has an 80-pound capacity, which it means it can accommodate even the heavier e-bikes that are out there, and it could be either wheel or frame mounted. So if you have a carbon fiber bike or a bike with a custom paint job, you wouldn't want to mount it to the frame to damage any of that. You can use the wheel mount like we have right here. But say you have a bike with fenders, that means the wheel mount is not going to be an option. I'm going to go ahead and depress this tab that's on my hook, lift the hook up and off the post, move it back, and now it's a frame mounted carrier. So just about any type of bicycle that you have, this is going to be able to accommodate it. Now if I move it back to the wheel here, get that settled down. As far as how it fits against the Grand Cherokee 4xe, one of the things I always look at is kind of distance between the bike carrier or the bike itself and the back of the vehicle. In our case here, we've got plenty of room. The hitch on the Grand Cherokee 4xe is located a little higher than a lot of other vehicles. So really this does a good job of keeping the handlebars up and clearing without any kind of, being too close. Even on a rougher road, this really isn't in any danger of either the handlebars or the pedals making contact with the vehicle. It is important to note, however, that this is a fixed bike carrier, which means it does not have a tilt-away option. If you wanted access to your lift gate, you would have to remove the bike in order to get that. Now with any platform bike rack, there is going to be some obstruction as far as visibility goes in the back of the vehicle, but because of how uniquely high up this hitch is, a lot of the bike is going to be in your rear window looking out. So between that and our rear view camera, it's important to know exactly how much room we're taking up back here for whenever we're backing into a tighter space or trying to parallel park. So from the furthest part of the bumper to the furthest part of the rack, we're at about 19.5 inches. So keep in mind, you got a little bit more than 1.5 feet back here that you're going to have to account for. Now, as far as ground clearance goes, I'm not really all that worried about it because of how high the hitch is and how close it is to the vehicle. But for the sake of knowing it, 21.75 inches of ground clearance we have here. Again, not enough to make me worry about a steep incline or driveway. However, with the height of this bike rack because of the hitch, I did mention that this bike rack could carry up to 80-pound bikes. So whatever your bike weighs, make sure that you're comfortable lifting it about 24 inches in order to get it up and mounted onto the bike rack. Now loading and unloading your bike is really, really simple. I had mentioned earlier the hook and post being one point of contact. There are two other points of contact on each wheel. We have a ratcheting strap with a rubber pad to protect your rims. And the first thing we want to do is disengage our wheel strap. So we're just going to depress this tab, release the strap, feed it back through the spokes and out of the way. I'm going to do the same thing here on our front wheel. Depress the tab, release the strap, get it through and out of the way. Now the last step is going to be to release our arm and hook. And to do that, again, we're going to depress this tab, move the hook up to its highest point, and clear the wheel just like that. Now we're able to remove our bike, and we can either store it or hit the trail from here. So I'll mention again that this is on a fixed shank, so it doesn't have a tilt-away. It also doesn't fold up as a stowaway. But it being only about 1.5 feet back, that actually does make it a little more compact than even some other bike carriers when they do go up into the stowaway position. So there are a couple of really neat features about this that I really like. First and foremost is this kind of step plate here. For one, it's got grooves cut out of it so you can run a cable lock and secure your bike a bit better. But two, this is gripped. And if you're using your Grand Cherokee to its potential, you might have some rooftop cargo up there, and this would be a really easy way to get access to that rooftop cargo to help you load and unload it. The other thing I like to use it for, though, is after a ride or something, taking a break from the trail, I could sit down with my water and have a seat here and just kind of enjoy the outdoors while I rest and relax a little bit before I hit the trail again. So that's a look at the Benton LittleShift single bike rack on our 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee